Hello everyone, welcome to another Cyber-Snapshot. Today I have my usual co-host, Ricky Bobby, and we also have Micheal Spalling, who's
Hi.
a close friend of ours, and we're really happy to have here today.
Awesome, glad to be here.
Yeah.
Thanks for inviting me.
I thought one of the big things that we could discuss, first off, is you both lead teams. You lead teams, different type of teams. You lead a team of security, incident response, operations to understand what's happening in your environment. You lead a sales team. But I'm very curious on how leading a team after COVID with, hiring new people, both with soft skills and also different skill sets. There's obviously been a lot of transition from the various companies, so there's a broad range of people with different skill sets out in the job market looking. And I'm also curious on how you guys are addressing the work from home hybrid method here. So I thought that'd be a great conversation piece today. Micheal, do you want to kick off?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's a topic that we've spent a lot of time talking about. One thing that I'm always reminded of is when we talk about kind of like COVID, that started 4 years ago.
I know. It's gone quick, right?
Man. Yeah. I always have to tell myself, like, a couple months ago, and you realize, no, it's 4 years and a few months ago. One of the biggest things that we talked about when it comes to like managing a team is still being able to maintain our trust with each other, right? And trust amongst the team is vital and paramount to us being able to be successful in our roles. And if you take trust, you can break it down into two things, and that's sort of all the components that make up a person's character and the components that make up a person's competencies. So this is kind of like what can they do and what are they capable of, and this is sort of their intentions and whatnot behind the scenes. One thing that I've learned in the last 4 years is, and this is just anecdotal for me, is like the skill sets have kind of stayed the same. It's easy enough to acquire new products, send them on training, write your exams and all that stuff.
Right.
But even as an organization and a department, we've been talking more about the character side. So
it's huge.
I've been at the university for almost 15 years. Most of the people that report to me have been there for anywhere, 10, 12 years. But when we look at the people that we've hired, and over COVID, many of them have been hired into this environment that's hybrid. And when it comes to interacting with other staff, usually the only time we really interact is when our roles intersect. So when the security team and let's say the project management team or the Windows team or whatnot, when their role and our role, they intersect, this is where we do that interaction with people, and then we move forward. And oftentimes that interaction is, it's very skills and competencies focused.
Right.
I need you to do this work, or we need you to do this work. Great. But you don't really build that relationship. Doesn't get built there.
Hard to do virtually, right?
Absolutely. And we've talked a lot about that, you and I, especially at length over the years, is those relationships are important. So maybe Rick, I'll pass it off to you a little bit, but that's kind of the challenge that I've been focusing on in the last 4 years, especially recent months, is how do you focus more on the character and the relationship and the trust building when you've got staff that may not necessarily be coming to the office and seeing each other, and maybe you only see them when there's a phone call and what have you. So
yeah, absolutely. Ricky?
Yeah, so to add on to that, I think my world's a little bit different. And I joined management as the pandemic hit.
That's a good timing.
However, I would say the pandemic for the team I lead actually was better for the team. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but the whole reason was, guess what happened when the pandemic hit? Everybody had to work from home, and team collaboration had to be put together with technology tools. That's something we really didn't have before. We didn't have the same type of collaboration tools that we have today, which was earth-shattering from the fact my team has always been remote. There's never been an office inside of Canada. Everybody works from home. But the thing is, it opened up more communication with having the ability with Teams and other type of collaboration tools to allow that communication to happen more freely, which we didn't have before, because guess what we were all doing? Running around out for a breakfast, a customer meeting, a lunch, a dinner, the list goes on. But we went and did all these things, and we weren't ever around a computer. Now, I will say that in human nature, we're either too far to the left or we're too far to the right. And it's hard to find that balance.
Yeah,
get back to that balance now. But some people don't want to get away from a computer screen.
Yeah.
But we all know that relationships are built just like this, being hand
100%.
in hand. And
Yeah.
Micheal brought up a great thing we were talking about on our last Cyber-Snapshot, I believe, and it's the fact of the trustworthiness formula.
Right.
And you covered off everything. It's about the credibility. It's about your reliability.
Oh, okay.
Then it comes into your whole fact of what is really boiling down into your intimacy level. How are you building that intimacy? Can you do that behind a computer screen? Not really. Even a Teams chat or a video, it's not the same thing as being here and being able to go, hey,
how you doing?
Micheal. Exactly. Like you don't feel the same thing.
It's interesting you mentioned that because like when you guys asked, hey, do you want to join? Do a couple snapshots with you guys? Like my immediate assumption was, cool, I'll just join a Zoom meeting. Yeah. and like it's funny you mentioned one of the things that happened with COVID was this advent of communication tech. Like I've already forgotten that prior to COVID, love my parents. They've never used Zoom video conferencing beforehand, and now it's normal. It's normal for me to say pick up my phone and use WhatsApp or use Zoom or whatnot to call my family, and they pick up. Yeah. And COVID is what kind of forced that. Like that never happened beforehand. No. Yeah. And I already sit here and I just it's just become so ingrained in what we do on a daily basis that I'm just like, oh, okay, like the whole world had to get together and learn how to use these conferencing tools. Everybody was forced
to. So it happened.
Yeah. And now it's just part of our life.
It's that old saying where they say, if you're given lemons, make lemonade. Yeah. We didn't ask for the pandemic to occur. And that was some really big lemons. And we made some really big glasses of lemonade out of that, right? But it made us better. Now it's just time for us to figure out what is the best balance for everybody involved, because we also have to think of that self-orientation and that self-awareness, but also the perspective of other individuals. Right. Can they still do their job remotely? If they can, why not? Yep. Is the hybrid model the thing we need to work towards, or is it going back to the office? But that may pertain to what is the position they do. Because some positions need to be first and foremost versus behind the screen.